What a lousy position I feel, no? And
Don't like me.
The doors are cannot open wider than this.
Yeah, no.
Just to pull out is so difficult. How it's going to be put back? Huh? You see, when they do things, I should have grown much younger and then made ideas.
Now, here we go. This one. Now, set it up. Next. Right, Chris. Almost. We're almost done. There you go. Good. right back. Good morning, 60 gang. It's your boy Doug. It's 10:49, September 9th, the day before the big debate. I'm outside as usual, grinding. I'm headed today to Woodstock, Georgia to go take a look at my boy Zachary LeBeau. It's a dishwasher. Getting him some issues, so I'm going to take a little ride to Woodstock, Georgia, and I am taking you guys with me. Let's get it. For someone to have to study this long for a debate means they have been studying to be someone else, to get their lives together. Yes, sir. And I expect Mr. Trump to eat her.
And this is Fox and Friends. Yes, the countdown is on. We are just one day away from the 2024 presidential debate.
I don't think she's abandoning her ideals. I think she's trying to be pragmatic and doing what she thinks is right in order to win the election.
Yep, whatever it takes. Tulsi Gabbard is preparing Donald Trump ahead of the showdown. She's going to join us live this hour.
Plus, a Fox News alert, House Republicans revealed the failures that led to the disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal, how the administration put optics over safety.
And Melania Trump speaking out, blasting efforts to silence her husband in a rare public statement.
We will tell you what she said. Meanwhile, the second hour of Fox and Friends.
Donald Trump and Kamala Harris.
All right, the vice president says she's ready as she spends a fifth day in Pittsburgh prepping for the debate. So what was the prep like and everything else? Rich Edson is at the White House with details as we know him. Although, Rich, they're keeping a lot of stuff secret.
Yeah, they are keeping a lot of stuff secret. She's been out and about a little bit, going to see some local businesses, but for the most part, it's been some quiet debate prep as far as the public is concerned. Steve Ainsley, Brian, and Lauren, good to join you this morning. What we've got here is the second debate of the presidential cycle, but the first between these two candidates. The vice president has been in Pittsburgh since Thursday, getting ready for this session. She says she is prepared to take on Trump.
Are you ready, Madam Vice President?
Ready.
Now, we asked the Trump campaign how he was preparing, and aide responded, "What's debate prep?" The New York Times released a poll yesterday showing Trump with a nearly 2-point national lead over Harris, though within the margin of error. The poll shows Harris can still define herself to more than a quarter of voters. 28% of likely voters say they still need to learn more about the vice president. Views of Trump have been locked in for a while. Less than 10% say the same of the former president. Trump spent Saturday afternoon in central Wisconsin at a rally at an airfield in Mosinee. He called President Biden stupid and Harris corrupt.
She's worse than him. He is a smarter person than she is. Oh, they're waiting for the debate. You know, if I destroy her in the debate, they'll say, Trump suffered a humiliating defeat tonight. No matter what.
And tomorrow's 90-minute debate will have no live audience and closed microphones when the other candidate's speaking. Democrats are also previewing the debate.
It will take almost superhuman focus and discipline to deal with Donald Trump in a debate. It's no ordinary proposition.
It's going to be a straight-up debate. She's going to do great, of course, but Donald Trump will be good, too. I mean, we can all remember he wrecked all of the Republicans. He's a good debater.
And there's been a lot of criticism of the Harris campaign for not having too much detail out. She started to flesh that out a little bit on her website with a new way forward in her policy themes. They include building an opportunity economy, safeguarding our fundamental freedoms, a bunch of other things. She has released some details on tax proposals and is just beginning to split a little bit with the White House, where she currently serves. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Rich. The timing of that is interesting, that she's releasing these new themes and new positions on our website right after the New York Times Siena College poll was released that said 1/3 of the voters don't know much about her.
Right. And we've been talking about what exactly does she stand for. And as I look at her website, KamalaHarris.com, some of the policy themes are build an opportunity economy. We've heard her say that. Lower costs for families. We've heard her say that. Safeguard our fundamental freedoms. Ensure safety for all. Justice for all. Keep America safe, secure, and prosperous. We've heard her say all that. But when you go through the website, there are very few details on how she's going to do it. I mean, they talk about cut taxes for people in middle class, make rent more affordable. It goes on, grow small business, take on bad actors, strengthen and bring down the cost of healthcare, but it's not really specific on how she's going to do it.
Why didn't she do that over the last 3.5 years?
Yeah, and speaking to those issues, she talks about the border a little bit, and in there she talks about her plan is really the bipartisan plan. There's no Harris plan that she's presenting to the table. As you guys know, that bill is dead since this Congress is getting ready to end in this election year. But then she separates the border issue and tackling the fentanyl crisis and the opioid crisis, as if she's just going to go after the drug dealers. We're not actually going against the countries that are getting the fentanyl across the border. So she sees them, Brian, as two separate issues.
Right, and like you said last hour, she does bring up Project 2025. So all I can say is if there's a think tank that Kamala Harris had other colleagues working at, maybe it's the Brookings Institute, and they come up with a policy, I didn't think in a million years you should stick it on Kamala Harris. There's nothing to do with her. Just because they're Democrats, for them to jump on the Heritage Foundation 900-page document, which is interesting for conservatives, but to think it's Donald Trump's document is wrong just because it's his former Trump people that work there. Why wouldn't conservatives
do that? Border Patrol doesn't do deportation. She said that she wanted to defund ICE.
Yep.
So is that the position still of Kamala Harris? You say you want secure, you can't have secure borders without ICE.
She wants an earned pathway to citizenship too, and they don't bring up sanctuary cities anymore because it was politically no longer advantageous.
And they dismantled all of Donald Trump's issues on the border, or what he was doing to try to make our border safer. Look at the numbers, like you said, Brian. Under Donald Trump, 2.4 million. Under Biden and Harris, it was 8.2 million encounters at the border. The immigrants knew that. They're wearing Biden sweatshirts and T-shirts.
When they first crossed, remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Well,
they're trying to cross the border, and she allowed that to happen.
Ultimately, what she's got to do as she walks on the stage on Wednesday in New Hampshire is she's got to decide how much of the Biden-Harris agenda she is going to embrace and how much she's going to distance herself from Joe. And she's already shown some contrast with Joe. Ultimately, according to the campaign, they want to show the contrast with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is undoubtedly going to bring up, and we've been talking a little bit about her many, many changes in policy over the last couple of years. You know what? A lot of people call them flip-flops. a lot of people on this show, on this couch, we've been referring to her evolution to a new way of thinking because she's obviously changed her mind.
But she never says it.
No, she doesn't.
Her campaign does.
She's going to have to
She
say it
doesn't.
tomorrow.
Documents released.
Bernie Sanders doesn't call it flip-flopping. He doesn't call it evolution. He calls it pragmatism. Watch this.
Do you think that she is abandoning her progressive ideals?
No, I don't think she's abandoning her ideals. I think she's trying to be pragmatic and doing what she thinks is right in order to win the election. She has another approach toward moving toward universal health care. But again, I think on issues like expanding Medicare, by expanding Social Security and lifting the cap on taxable income that the rich put in so we can raise Social Security benefits, the need to raise the minimum wage from a starvation 7.25 minimum wage to a living wage. I think if you campaign on those issues, raising taxes on billionaires, you know what, she's going to win, and I think she could win big.
Well,
so yes, her views are not mine, but I do consider her progressive.
Well, if you drill down on it, one thing they say is only a third of the people think that Donald Trump is too far left. Most think he's in the middle. Nearly half of voters, in contrast, say that Harris is too far to the left. Only 41% says she's not too far either way. So she's trying to go to the middle, but the American people aren't buying it, and they're trying to make him Trump an extremist, and the American people aren't buying it because we've made our own decisions. I just think this is what I found heartening, is that the American people looked at what was happening with someone doing one interview as opposed to 41 interviews, no town halls, no press conferences, not even taking general questions from the media, changing positions, but not personally, only through surrogates and through press releases, and said, no, that's not good enough. And that's why I thought when President Trump gained 4 or 5 points in the poll, but at this point, Biden was up 6, Hillary was up 8, and he gained points just because he's doing the job. She is in bubble wrap, and she thought she could coast by telling us what spices she uses in chili. Well, and the American people say that's not good enough.
Well, it's just a sugar high. And as I told people from the very beginning, I believe that it wasn't an authentic movement. You don't have all these people, maybe the rallies, okay? But when you're talking about everyday people, you don't have people going all across the country saying, I'm a Kamala fan. If you look at her website, she says this: as a prosecutor, attorney general, senator, and now vice president of the United States, Kamala has always stood up for the people against predators, scammers, and powerful interests. Okay, so you got all these villains. Where are the victims? Where are all the victims coming out saying, Kamala Harris took on Wall Street for me? Where's the victim saying, oh, Kamala Harris took on this predator for me? Part of being a good politician and having a record is once you do something, people don't forget. And during the campaign season, all those people that you help, you put them on the campaign trail, you cut ads. There are no ads of all these people that she claims in her fresh document over the night that she helped that are out.
Well, that's going to be absolutely right ground, good ground for Donald Trump to plow
100%
tomorrow night. The big question is that the approach he's going to be taking? You know, we've heard different things. He doesn't do traditional debate prep. She's doing more traditional stuff. He's being peppered with questions by aides and stuff like that, and going over a lot of his past record just so that he can cite it when she brings something up. You know, because things are so tightly scripted, and because there's only one big interview that we've known of, and that was in our rearview mirror, and there's just one debate, this is going to be one of the highest stakes 90 minutes in American history. And that is why the Kamala Harris side is trying so hard to stage manage everything. They are only she walked out, she and her husband did a little walk yesterday. She said she gave a thumbs up. Said she was ready. There was one other availability. They put her out, and that was it. She just went shopping.
Went to another spice shop, a tea shop.
She went shopping, and that's the only video we've got.
Think about this. That interview that you're talking about, she spoke for 16 minutes. That's it. She's running for president. We need to know why she flip-flopped on all of these issues. Hopefully they'll get to that in the debate. But she came out another time and said she likes Doritos. Remember that? Then she released some video with Tim Waltz. They talked about what music they liked and how he likes, you know, the white guy tacos. Now she's in the spice shop, and this spice shop Shop. They're known, they posted on their website, it's an article called About Republicans. It's bashing Republicans and the GOP. And it was written by the CEO, Bill Penzie. And that's the name of the spy shop, Penzie Spy Shop. It's in Pittsburgh, where she's hiding in the bunker trying to prepare for the debate. And then in January of 2022, he said he wanted to rename MLK Day to Republicans Are Racist Weekend. He lost 40,000 subscribers on his Facebook page, the guy who owns the spice shop. So she goes to the spice shop, and her press pool covers what spices she bought. They said Kamala Harris just went to Penzie's Spices and bought creamy peppercorn dressing base, Fox Point seasoning, lemon garlic marinade, Turkish seasoning, and Tuscan Sunset salt-free Italian seasoning.
I wonder if she's writing a cookbook. Yeah, that's almost too much spices. So the other thing, and then she does one question. She's asked about what do you want to accomplish in the debate, and she pauses just like in the interview. She's so scripted and so concerned about saying the wrong thing. Also, I think it's important to point out that there's a problem with the three camps I mentioned last hour. There's a problem with the Obama people that entered late, the Biden people that stuck around, and the Harris people that have been there all along. It's the Obama people that told her, don't do interviews, don't do press conferences, don't answer any questions, and only do one tandem interview, that are keeping her away. And that's why you look at this last poll and the American people go, okay, this is dumb. I'm not going to be taken advantage of like this. The Harris people said we never would have done that. And they feel as though from the outside, they have so little faith in her. You can't conclude anything different. They have so little faith in her to be able to do something. They think the best option is not to keep her away and just have other people talk for her. What an insult.
You know, I hate to give Kamala Harris any advice, but I think that she should stop listening to them all. I think she should stop the debate prep. Her memorizing lines, I think, is going to hurt her on the debate. I think she needs to decide what she believes as a candidate. She already has the job as being the nominee. No one can take that away from her. Be who you are. Put the policy positions out there and stand where you stand.
But the American people don't want where she's been.
That's the only part. But at least give the American people a choice. At least she can have an adequate debate and know the positions that are in this document. Well, I'm not sure she knows what these positions are,
but they're so
and why she believes them.
But they're so generic, though.
Right, they're so broad. It's like, it's hard not to want prices to go down.
I like middle-class people.
Yeah, but then you say how, and then she doesn't know how to explain why.
Right,
how you do it.
There's not a lot of specifics there. But think about the dynamic behind the scenes, Brian, and you pointed out the three camps. You got the Wilmington people, you got the Biden people, you got the Obama people now in there as well. The Obama people can go, we won the presidency twice. Yeah. You should listen to us.
What a great candidate.
Yeah, well, they're not saying that part. Well, they're saying she's a great candidate. The Biden people, you know, they're splintered, and so that's why
they're angry. By the way,
sure, absolutely, they want to know who's in charge. So that is why they are stage managing things so tightly. So when the New York, rather than when the Washington Post writes that particular item about, okay, she went out and these are the spices she bought. On FoxNews.com right now, David Marcus did an op-ed, and he said that he posits this, why Kamala Harris's press pool deserves the Pulitzer Prize. Think about this. He goes on to say the Harris press pool should receive a Pulitzer Prize for their unique approach this election cycle, in which the candidate is never asked any questions relevant to being president, but rather given the joyous opportunity to simply share her deeply human qualities. This generation of journalists understands that the American voters don't need to know pointless specifics about how Harris might govern. They need to know how real and powerful the vibes are. And he's absolutely right. It's all about the vibes. Listen, we get paid to sit on the couch and talk about politics. There are a lot of people who just go, oh, she went to a spy shop. That's cool.
Well, what happened is they didn't want her to be the candidate. Pelosi wanted an open primary. Remember, after they knew Joe Biden failed miserably on that debate stage. But Joe Biden said he wanted her, and he said, I'll step down. This is what we think at least happened. I'll step down if you make her the VP. They also knew she was a woman, a minority. They couldn't pass her up for someone else. So they put her to the top. So they say, you speak in word salads, you get nervous in front of the camera, just don't talk. We're going to make you look great, that you like everyday, ordinary things like Doritos, and we're going to talk about your story and how your mom struggled. And this is going to be a winning message for us, because if you speak, then there's a shot of you losing. It's neck and neck in the polls. So now they're prepping her for this debate. They can prep too much to where she gets so nervous and she forgets these lines. Exactly. Exactly.
They knocked Joe Biden out. Less snaps, same format. David Muir and Lindsay Davis will be the moderators. 51 million people watched last time. I think more will watch this time.
All right. Because this is probably the only time we're going to see them together. It also will be the first time they've ever met because Donald Trump was not at the inauguration.
I wonder will they shake. People are betting whether they'll shake hands.
And you can watch it right here on Fox.
Joe's hand last time.
I'm sure they will. We're going to simulcast, so you can watch it here, and we're going to have color at the beginning of it and at the end.
Do you think they're shaking hands?
I think they will, right?
Last time wasn't even an option.
I don't think they will.
It just depends on how far the podiums are. I mean, if it looks weird, if they have to cross over too far, because when Joe Biden came out, he came out of one side of the stage, and Trump came out of the other.
Didn't have to shake hands.
The question is, who will extend the hand? Because if one person extends the hand and another person doesn't take it,
that'll be bad.
That looks bad.
I bet you $1 they are telling her, walk over and shake his hand.
That would be a smart move.
It would be a smart move. Well, let's see. We'll know tomorrow.
Maybe they'll embrace. Maybe they'll hug.
A little much.
I bet you $1 that doesn't happen.
Do you remember when Doug kissed? Was it Doug that kissed her on the? No, not Doug. Doug kissed Jill on the lips. Remember on that?
Oh, that's right.
That was awkward for me. Rough. I thought the Taylor Swift, Jason Kelce was hard for me to get used to. Travis Kelce, but when they kissed on the lips and held it, I thought that was very unique. Right? Do we have any of that?
I wonder if Trump will bring that up.
Right? Yeah. You never know.
And speaking of, all right, it is 20 minutes after the top of the hour, and Carly joins us with some more news out of that high school situation.
We'll be getting into some of Kamala's latest antics shortly, but first let's start with a Hollywood clown actor, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who decided to post this video of himself trying to take down Trump's tax cuts. Trying being the operative word. Like most Hollywood types, he has no idea what he's talking about.
So Donald Trump wants to give me $70,000 in tax cuts per year. And by the way, he doesn't want to give that to everybody, but I just read that's the average tax break for the top 1%. If Donald Trump is elected president, $70,000. And you might say, well, he's going to give tax breaks to everybody, but not really, because of all the tax cuts, of all that money, nearly half of it is going to go to just the top 5% of people.
Oh, wow, you got him there. Half of the tax cuts will go to just the top 5% of income earners. Could that be, Joseph, because they paid most of the tax collected? You do realise that's how the system works, and you're not getting a gift from Donald Trump. You just get to keep more of the money you've earned. And if you haven't earned it in the first place, you can't get it back in a tax cut. This isn't hard. Let's make it even easier for you, because I know lefties get nervous around facts and figures. The top 5% of taxpayers pay 65.6% of all income tax collected, according to the IRS. So it looks like they're being shortchanged with that tax cut. But Joseph, this is the actor who bleated endlessly about the ordeal of playing a cop given his support of BLM, and he called Trump a despot in 2020. We shouldn't be too surprised that old Joe has more advice to impart to the American people. Get ready to lose some brain cells.
If you want to talk about who's going to really help most Americans, it's Kamala. Trump's going to help the same people he always tries to help, the wealthy. Himself. He was born a wealthy guy. And look, I completely respect needing to vote for the candidate that's going to make it easier for your family. But Donald Trump isn't that candidate. Donald Trump's trying to give me $70,000. So, Mr. Trump, thank you, but no thanks.
Oh, just an economically illiterate idiot, and a hypocrite too, because he will take that cut, he will pocket it, and you're free to donate it, Joseph, to whoever you want, even the government. Now, we've brought you plenty of clips of indoctrination in schools, but here we'll see an adult indoctrinate what appears to be a very young child, possibly the woman's own child, with radical gender theory by suggesting the names on a board game are non-binary with they, them pronouns. No wonder the kids are confused these days.
So this person might not feel like a girl or a boy. So their pronouns would be Them and they, right? And so when we're talking about them, we could say they really like mac and cheese.
Do it have hat on?
Yes, they do have a hat.
But what if the hat identifies as a pumpkin? These ideologues can't even enjoy a board game with their kids without using it as an opportunity to push their mad Marxist ideology. Now to one of the Democrats' big social media hacks who appears obsessed with telling us how happy she is to be child-free. It's a tad strange.
I'm 42, child-free, it's Sunday fun day, no babysitter needed. Let's go.
Okay, I assure you the right does not hate this. They probably would prefer lefties losing it to stop procreating. But why the need to keep ranting about this?
I'm 42, I'm child-free, it's the weekend, I'm in Atlantic City, party time.
She does know that you can be 42 and still go out, even if you're a mum and the kids don't stay toddlers forever. But at least while this Democrat fangirl Angela is doing her child-free shtick, she's not dancing. Where's the music? I mean, bless her, she is adorable in a slightly demented kind of way. Now to the demented kind of way without the adorableness. Let's check in with the ladies of The View, and here one of them tries to make a sane, obvious point that you shouldn't be mean or disown friends or family whose politics differ from yours. It doesn't go well. First there's pushback from Joy Behar, and then Ana Navarro loses it.
We shouldn't demean Trump supporters. We shouldn't call them names. We shouldn't say they're cultists or ignorant.
They have issues.
Because we all have them in our lives, and we all have them in our lives, and we love them. And if they don't change, it's not going to change my relationship with them.
I do think we should call them names, and I think Donald Trump. I think Tim Walz's brother is dumb as hell, because if he gets into that vice presidential mansion, he's going to miss a lot of good parties if he's estranged from his brother.
Yeah, forget about your principles. Think of the parties. Navarro was heaping abuse there on Tim Walz's brother for endorsing Trump. Now let's look at this exchange between Charlie Kirk and a confused young man who thinks he's smarter than he actually is, whose arguments pretty much amount to shouting racist, bigot, transphobe.
The f***ing racist who does not... Statistics are facts. You are not a gender scientist. You cannot speak on that because you cannot understand.
What percentage of murders do blacks commit in America?
We shouldn't justify you being here by giving you an audience. You do not speak accurate facts.
What have I said that's not factual or not true, or anything that I've said that's racist? Name one thing.
Yeah.
Black people are 13% of the population, and they commit 50% of the murders. You can look it up.
Over, please.
Wait, you.
What's your source?
The FBI, the Department of Justice.
FBI, Department of Justice. It did not get any better for this angry, befuddled lefty losing it.
It is a fact that blacks have a disproportionate amount of the violent crime in their community. Why do you think that is?
I'm not here to debate with you because I don't want to platform you. You're a racist.
Wait, you called me a racist. What have I ever said that's racist, or do you just think numbers are racist?
You said a racist. Y'all don't f***ing understand statistics. How are you speaking on numbers?
Thanks for your time.
Oh dear, that sad soy boy doesn't want to give Kirk a platform, the dude with millions and millions of followers. That makes sense. Now, MSNBC wish they had as many viewers as Turning Point USA. We have more people watching this segment online than the most watched MSNBC shows. I'm not kidding. And this may be why they've veered so far left that they are advocating for Elon Musk to be punished for not being a government mouthpiece.
And he has a right to express his opinion. However,
That right is not unlimited, and he is under some special limitations that wouldn't apply to normal people because his companies, specifically Starlink and SpaceX, are government contractors. And as such, he has obligations to the government that would, for any normal person and should for him, require him to moderate his speech in the interest of national security. So what you have is somebody who runs really strategic defense and aerospace projects for the federal government who's actively undermining the government which is paying him. And somewhere in there is a legal case that needs to be prosecuted.
Moderate his speech in the interest of national security. Somewhere in there is a case that needs to be prosecuted. What do you mean? Do they want to create new laws to have a sham trial like they did with Trump? And how exactly is Elon Musk doing anything that could compromise national security by allowing inconvenient facts to be shared on X, allowing free debate? Is a threat to the national security now? No wonder no one is watching MSNBC, but what they lack in audience numbers, they make up for in pure hypocrisy. Here they claim that mispronouncing Kamala's name, the latest preferred pronunciation of her name, amounts to racism and sexism. But here is a full minute of lefties doing just that, including plenty of them on MSNBC. See if you can count how many times Kamala's name is mispronounced in this next clip.
The hate campaign against Kamala Harris has begun. You'll notice they purposefully pronounce her name wrong. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
People like Kamala Harris.
But as Kamala said,
Kamala Harris.
Kamala and I. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris is Kamala.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris was a very good prosecutor.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. I know her. Kamala was first Biden and Kamala. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. And to the Kamala point, they purposefully pronounce her name wrong. They say Kamala. They do it all the time. It is on purpose. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris was talking about this.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
I counted 61 there. So many racist, sexist lefties. Now to the worst thing to happen to the American education system. Take it away, Randy.
If we win, that means we strengthen democracy. That means we strengthen our freedoms. That means the middle class can be ascended. That means we strengthen education. We strengthen the economy. We strengthen our rights.
That was president of the American Federation of Teachers. Now to a woman in a burqa whining about Vietnam vets being proud of their service. This is so crazy that I'm wondering whether it's satire.
I just think it's so distasteful and sick that like all these older men walk around with their like Vietnam vet hats and like bumper stickers, and I'm just like, in what world is it cool to like invade a country and like kill lots of people? And I mean, that's not a defensive war, especially when there's like a lot of Asian men, like Filipinos, who fought in that war. I'm just like, guys, it's not cool. It makes me actually feel sick to my stomach.
You know what's upsetting to me? Seeing a woman in a free country where she has full rights choose to subjugate herself, where she's completely dehumanized, whether it's behind a burqa or a niqab, where she's hidden from the world. Women in countries like Iran are being beaten, imprisoned, and even killed fighting against hijab laws. And then you have women like that in the West putting on the political garments of Islamism. By the way, burqas are banned in more than a dozen countries, including France, and with good reason. Okay, I made you wait long enough. Let's get some Kamala goodness. Here she is in the little setup that her campaign has organised. She's in a spice shop comforting a weeping woman.
You know.
Oh, it's gonna be good. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We are all in this together.
Yes, we are.
We're gonna be fine.
We are.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Huh?
Yeah. Did you get some spices? Oh.
Did you get some spices? Hysterical laughter. Perhaps the Gold Star families Kamala has ignored for 3 years after their loved ones were killed in the botched Afghanistan withdrawal should frequent spice shops. Maybe she'll acknowledge their existence then. And if you think this was just a spontaneous encounter, this little spice shop is called Penzi Spices, and it has a hate page on their website called About Republicans, has a 842-word rant against the GOP, saying things like, "We're done pretending the Republican Party's embrace of cruelty, racism, COVID lies, climate change denial, and threats to democracy are anything other than the risks they legitimately are. If you need us to pretend, you are not creating the hurt you are creating in order for you to continue to be our customer. I'm sad to say you might be happier elsewhere." Yeah, I think you're right there. Feel the love and unity, folks. That's the love and unity the Democrats preach about. Now, Kamala's always had a taste for the consequential issues. Here's a clip of her opining about the colour of Starbucks coffee cups, their lids.
So you know how those lids are, because this is, I'm just going to speak, okay? So this is it. So you know how those lids on the Starbucks cups, they're white, right? And so if you wear lipstick, they get all over the lid. And so then I find myself in meetings if I'm the only woman, and that's kind of, and so I keep taking the lid off and having my cup out so that I don't have that big lipstick mark on the lid. So I said, can we do something about the color of the lid? So that was that conversation.
It's almost impossible to parody that, but thank God we have Esti Pouty, because she's done just that.
That's my jam. So y'all know how they have those, white cups, white lids in Starbucks, and I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna say it, right? So, they have those lids, and, if you're the only woman and you're wearing lipstick, I'm in that meeting and I gotta, put the cup down, gotta take off the lid, I gotta drink it, like, it's a whole big thing. And, so you know what I said? I said, can we do something about the color of this lid? Can we do something?
And we'll have plenty more lefties in this next segment. Joining me now is host of Primetime with Alex Stein on Blaze TV, Alex Stein. I want to get your thoughts on the clip that's being pushed hard by the media at the moment of the VP comforting an elderly lady in a spice shop. But what do you make of that 2018 clip where she seems a little too preoccupied with coffee cups and what color their lids are?
Well, it's obvious that Kamala Harris doesn't like the color white, and I guess these lids aren't enough of a DEI hire for her, so she's going back to Starbucks. It's kind of sad. You have a message. The potential free leader of the world is worried about the color of her coffee lid so that her lipstick doesn't show. I just think that there are much bigger fish to fry than the shade of lipstick residue that's on her Starbucks.
I would have never, ever thought of that. And I'm sure the same things happen to me where I've been in a meeting with blokes and my lipstick may be on the coffee cup lid. Who cares? I mean, why would you be concerned with that? And she talked about how she'd take the lid off so people wouldn't see her lip. Her lipstick is on her lips, Kamala. Everyone can see you wearing lipstick. You don't need to hide it. The whole thing is absurd. But we've got the debate looming, very exciting indeed. It could be the one and only debate. In fact, it does look like it's going to be the one and only debate between Harris and President Donald Trump. And some insiders are leaking that her team are nervous about her performance. Alex, what do you think she needs to do to get in Trump's head? And what is the best game plan for Trump?
Well, Trump needs to let her talk. You know, she did okay at the DNC when she had that prepared statement. But if she has to improv anything, you know, she's probably going to have a little too many glasses of wine, and who knows what can happen. So Trump just needs to let her speak, because she's not well off script. That's very obvious. She's terrible off script.
But you would think with all the time she's had to prepare for this debate that she knows what's to come, she knows what the major questions are going to be, and she's going to have everything almost word perfect ready to go. There's a few hot topics, and she's had plenty of time to get her answers down pat. So it's going to be fascinating. We'll be watching it, and Paul Murray and myself will be watching it live and bringing you our reactions at it as it happens. But let's move on to something more frivolous. Former Bachelorette star Josh Seater, who now identifies as a woman, has made a video empathizing with the many dangerous situations women find themselves in.
Hi everyone! I just wanted to talk today about being aware of dangerous situations that women can often find themselves in. Now that I'm a woman, I'm always aware of what's going on around me and when my guard needs to go up. The other day I was working out and a man came up to me and he made a comment about my muscular physique, and that just sent shockwaves through my body.
Alex, I've asked you about this before. I need to know, is that just some big troll, some parody act? Is it a reality show that he's filming that we don't know about? Or is that genuine? It's killing me not knowing.
No, Josh is playing a character, but Josh is actually doing a very good job, in my opinion, showing how absurd it is that people can just identify as a girl for 5 minutes and start to use the women's restroom. So, you know, I like what Josh is doing, trying to expose that a lot of these trans people that are just trying
You
to...
are sure it's not real? You are sure? You are sure?
Yes. Rita, yes, I know this. I know Josh is just yanking our chain, as they say here in America. It is totally an act. Josh is not an idiot when it comes to, you know, going viral, and Josh is getting a lot of attention, and that viral fame can be addicting. So I think that's why Josh has doubled down and continuing to play this character.
But as we've seen with some other characters, things that we thought were parody, even Dylan Mulvaney in the early days, people were convinced it was a big troll. And then
we are at the Refugee and Immigrant Rights and Committee on Housing and Real Estate, September 6, 2024. Let me do my caption. Our folks are coming in. I like to get...
Let's go red. Go red. We're going to keep the Tella and the mama how to treat us. And thank you. And then Black people. Black people.
It's Jessica Jackson.
God bless Black people.
So y'all here to beg for some more money and some more rights.
Don't give them nothing.
You had a $16.4 billion budget. And then on top of that, now you're $1 billion in debt. When the city first showed that it was $538 deficit, y'all didn't stop, you kept going. Then they said that it was $300 million that Brandon Johnson couldn't find. Y'all kept going. Now it's all the way to over $1 billion. Now, of that big old budget, y'all had a measly 500,000 line item for a bogus study of reparations. And y'all here to beg some more. That's why it needs to be an audit to see if the people are serving, if they are actually citizens, if they're actually legal. Because what we got going on right now is a bunch of people that came over here for opportunity. They're coming over here, taking these seats in here, and they looking out for their country. They trying to bring their people over here. They getting them jobs or whatever here so they can send money back to their country. While they draining our pockets dry. I'm up here for over a year talking about my mother's property and how you all set up here and stealing black people's property. And I get the good pleasure of every morning when I come down here at the train stop of the Metro on Stony Island, where it's an apartment complex that used to be black. They shut it down, it's rebuilt, and now it's a bunch of immigrants in here. Illegal immigrants in here. And I got to stand on that bus stop, on that Metro, to come down here and look at them be up there parlaying. Parlaying. They got little pools out there, they got their little pets out there, they ain't worried about a thing. But I'm coming here, gotta fight for my family's property. Right. I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. Y'all ain't gonna pass nothing until y'all get this budget straight. Y'all bet not pass nothing. This is what we think about this.
That's it.
Y'all better not pass nothing. Nothing. I'm telling you, you better stay where it is. Like they say, nobody moves, nobody get hurt. Y'all bet not put no hands up for nothing. Y'all bet not pass nothing because we're coming for them six. If you do, think we playing. Anyway. Think we playing. Think we playing. Y'all better adjourn this meeting until y'all find out how y'all gonna get that money right. And it's not our taxes. Get that money right. I'm telling you, but don't you talk while I'm talking and gonna sit up here and mess with my minutes. Okay. You hold that mouth. Hold that mouth. Look at these immigrants all over the city, all the begging, all that old junk. All that old junk. Y'all better not vote on nothing. Nothing.
Yeah,
that's right.
Next up, Zoe Lee.
Tired of these old black faces, vote for fake.
So reading this resolution, it highlights the significant barriers of housing that immigrants and refugees face in Chicago, such as discrimination, language obstacles, limited documentation, and lack of competent housing assistance. These barriers contribute to housing insecurity, substandard living conditions, homelessness, and displacements, which negatively affect the health, well-being, and stability of these populations. I see over 20 to 30 black American citizens that are homeless out here with no shoes, anything, begging outside. I'm seeing black seniors with cups because they can't get jobs, because if they get jobs, they're going to take their little Social Security away that they're getting. The bare minimum Democratic Party, right, because that's what it is, has given black Americans the bare minimum for forever, but for the last 60 years. And now the bare minimum resources you're now giving to the undocumented immigrants is you're insane as a black American to keep voting blue. You're a moron, you're an idiot, you're dumb. If you are black and American and you keep voting for the Democratic Party. It's either Republican, and when finally black people realize our privilege that we have, that we can get up and go to the end, do this by ourselves, because y'all need us. We don't need y'all at all. We are the Bank of America. We run this country. We built this country. So when black people can get up, because we don't need either one of the political parties. But the Republicans Trump is coming. Trump is different from the rest of them. Because I really can't say the Republican Party too, because it's really just full of white trash. They eat cooked grass. So at the end of the day, if they vote for trash. But what I'm not going to deal with is that you guys are going to come in here and take votes when it comes to how